Believers, we're talking the very last episode until Ultima Lucha Quattro begins. We have got a 7 to survive match and a 7 to survive match, so stick around.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
You see, I'm going deep with the music cuts tonight.
You mean last week and tonight?
Last week and tonight. It's been so long. We haven't even changed our clothes. Guys, it's Lucha Underground After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. That's right, we're talking episode 20. 7 to survive. I cannot believe it's already been 20 episodes already.
It's legitimately been the shortest season of Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Ultima Lucha Quattro begins next week. It's a 2-parter, not a 4-parter like last season. So we don't have very much time left. So we need to cherish it. I'm trying to tell you guys I love you, is what I mean. I know I don't say it enough, but I love you.
Listen, I just want you to know that I care about you.
I appreciate the hell out of every one of you, and I know I sound angry about it, but I promise I'm not.
We need to hang out more.
KIT. Have a good summer, KIT.
To be two friends forever.
Boy. Guys, my name is Ty Matthews. You can find me online at Ty Matthews PMA. Joining me, as always, not as always, but as is on special occasions.
I mean, special occasions.
He used to man the 1s and 2s. You can find him online at Mark B. Donica because of Mark B. Donica.
Yeah, I bought my own 1s and 2s, and I take them around with me.
You man your own 1s and 2s now.
I man my own 1s and 2s. Yeah, on the internet's Mark B. Donica. It's me.
It's you.
It's here. We're going to talk about some...
you IRL.
It me. In real life. That's what
and manning the 1s and 2s currently
presently
are our good friend Josh, who has been holding it down this season.
I'm so happy you did that because it was in my head.
That's so good.
Yeah,
he's been nailing it.
No,
dude,
you struck me.
He hit me with Teddy Long a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
I
did some research.
I called out a tag team match, and without missing a beat, he hit me with Teddy.
I don't know if they relabeled it, but I just labeled that Teddy Long. Like, I didn't even label that tag team match.
So
So if
good.
they relabeled it, then that's smart.
It's so good.
It probably would have been Anolfan.
Smart. Well, let's talk about 7 to survive. See, last week, 7 days ago, we had a battle royal to determine who would be eliminated from this match. Jake Strong won the battle royal, and he said, nope, everyone in the pool. And now we got a battle royal. No, now we got a 7 to survive match. Sorry.
It's like
I've got Battles Royal on my mind.
With cheese. But the thing, so we talked about it in our last episode, but the whole sort of, we forgot about the Gift of the Gods Championship.
Right.
Sort of a thing. And we're coming, like, they could have spent some of the time that they dedicated this entire episode to the Gift of the Gods. Last week's episode, which dedicated to Jake Strong also, as well as this episode was, they could have evened out the time just a little bit more to give us a reason to believe that any of the other competitors would stand any sort of a chance. Because it was just when you present the fiction, the story that they were presenting is, we're going to make Jake Strong the man.
Right.
And Jake Strong's like, no, I'm going to make myself the man.
Right.
But then you write the show with him not, like, you don't present any obstacles. You go, he's the man.
Yeah.
You could have just, like, we could have spent these 2 hours of last week's episode and this week's episode doing anything to make anybody believe that anybody but Jake Strong could win the Gift of the Gods Championship.
I will say that, like, not to jump into spoilers right off the bat.
I mean, we're talking about this episode.
But from the get-go, it didn't really seem like anybody else had a chance.
That's what I mean.
Right.
If you're going to present this narrative of him trying to prove himself, you've got to give him a good roadblock. And I'm not talking about
like
roadblock or roadblock end of the line. Either event.
Right.
It's one of the things that the Star Wars prequels failed to do, which is, hey, remember that time we did all that really cool stuff? Yeah. Well, let's walk in a hallway for a little bit, as opposed to, like, the Clone Wars TV show that shows you all of that stuff.
Sure.
And makes that story that much more, like, I know you ran out of time, because you had a short episode order, but if you wanted this seemingly season-long story with Jake Strong, you've got to give us that at the jump so we can sort of be like, oh, is he going to win? Oh, is he going to win? Not, I'm going to win everything, and then he wins everything.
And then we all believe it when he says it before it even happens.
It's like they forgot to shoot a pickup, and they went, all right, we'll just put that in a later episode.
Sure.
And it's one of the few things that frustrates me about this show is how they've handled Jake Strong.
Right.
And it's nothing against Jake Strong.
No.
No. That's what I got.
I like it. I like what you got.
Thanks, man.
That's why we're buds. We'll get into 7-2 survive.
7 inches to survive.
Real quick. God damn it.
I don't know what you're talking
We'll get to the match real quick. But AfterBuzzers, let me holler at you. In honor of Teddy Long, let me holler at you, player. Our
He's not dead,
network,
though.
huh?
He's not that.
Oh, Teddy. Oh, how we miss Teddy. Guys, our network produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite television shows. Now, that's everything from dramas to reality TV to sci-fi and so much more. There's absolutely no network that works harder to serve TV fans than we do. But all of that being said, see, we need your help. We're asking, humbly, hat in hand, that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. Hat in hand, right there. We're asking politely, nicely. Now, by subscribing to our channel, YouTube is going to suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and by doing that, you're going to help this network continue to grow like we keep doing. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be. Those bad boys are optional. Hasn't the Burger King taught you anything? You can have it your way. Now hit that subscribe button one time for this channel and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels while you're at it. Let us know you did so in the comments. We're going to thank you on the air. But for now, thank you for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Yeah. I put my hat back on wrong.
I guess it's a state of mind, really.
I goofed up. Speaking of other channels, I'm decked out in Voltron gear. If you're a fan of Voltron, go watch it on the animation channel. We had some of the series creators in to talk about their really weird game show episode.
Ooh.
They said, hey, can we come in and talk about the game show episode? And we're like, sure.
A game show episode of Voltron?
Of Voltron.
Ooh.
They wander through space and I'll wake up in like a 60s studio and they're like, hi, welcome to, it's like all in alien language, like, welcome to Garfle Warfle Snake. It's all really old and they're like, what are we doing here? And they're like trying to escape or they'll be trapped forever. But there's like minor references to really random like TV ads from back in the mid to it's great. Yeah,
that sounds fantastic.
If you've been sleeping on Voltron Legendary Defender, get into it now because the last season's starting. Anyway,
after we finish talking about 7 to Survive, go check that out. But let's
I forgot to talk about something. Please go ahead, please.
Let's get it going. We got King Cuerno versus Big Bad Steve versus Hernandez versus Aerostar versus PJ Black versus Jake Strong versus Dante Fox.
Yeah, you said 7.
Shevin.
That was 7.
Shevin. 14
Not 14 team. Or 2.5. And when the man hits the finisher and it's not strong enough, the ref counts 1, 2, 2.5.
55. Classic internet, guys. That's what we're here to talk about. It's the Homestar Runner after show.
It's the E-Bombs World after show.
It's the Newgrounds after show right here at
It's the Albino Black Sheep after show.
So, let's talk about Big Bad Steve, first of all.
Okay.
Because he got more of a showing in this match than he has this whole season, and I was on board for it.
It's not like he's been a slouch.
No.
Like, they've put him in very interesting positions to be like, oh, yeah. And Big Bad Steve.
And Big Bad Steve. Also featuring Big Bad Steve.
Wacky neighbor, Big Bad
the
Steve.
The biggest, the baddest, the Stevest.
That's what it says on my resume.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to Big Bad Steve, I did you think that he would be the one person, like your average Joe, sort of like just because he's the way that he's presented, sort of a thing,
right?
Not necessarily an average.
He's
Joe.
not quite the everyman.
Yeah, but in terms, he's the one of the less magical beings.
Right. He's a mechanic.
Yeah, he's a mechanic. So and which get it, wrestling fans. But do you think that with that role, would he have been the one to directly oppose Jake Strong? Me neither.
I don't know. I mean, like, I if you put it that way, I'm kind of fantasy booking an angle in my head that pits Big Bad Steve against Matanza. They're both very similarly shaped.
And similarly body. So are they the same person? Is it Big Bad Steve Cueto?
Big Bad Matanza.
Esteban Cueto.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to see that. I would love to see just straight up God versus man.
Steve, change my oil. No Christmas presents. The forgotten Cueto son.
But we got a lot. We get more of Hernandez right off the top, or if you're Johnny Mundo, Fernandez. It's one of my favorite like dickhead moments of Johnny Mundo. Just calling him Fernandez.
Classic Mundo.
But I mean, it's a 7-man match. It starts as it should, with just everyone throwing fists at each other. Aerostar gets Death Valley drivered into chairs before anyone's even been eliminated. We see guardrail Ranas. We see Jake Strong powerbomb Dante Fox into the wall very hard. We see just constant low blows from PJ Black to everybody.
What a dick.
Exactly.
What a dick.
We see Big Bad Steve just going to town with a pipe wrench.
Pipe wrench.
It's like, it's kind of another thing, kind of like what we were talking about with like the Big Show's KO punch. If you've got a pipe wrench and it's legal, why would that not just be glued to your hand?
Or chained to your hand.
Right? Or chained to your hand if you're going for a more rustic look.
Well, and that's one of the weird things about some of these matches, especially in the Temple, when it comes to something like this. Just why not go and speak, like we talked about in the last episode about Big Show, just not why he doesn't just punch people all the time as a destructive big man as he is.
Right.
Why isn't anybody going all out at the jump? Especially, this is for a huge opportunity for the Gift of the Gods Championship. That why do you not just like, all right, it made sense for PJ to be like, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Just I'm gonna be doing some winging and digging.
Yeah, exactly. If it's established that there are no DQs in this match, then it should be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially this close to Ultima Lucha, especially given the fact that the title is going to be defended in a Cero Miedo match, so you know that win or lose, the champ is going to be easy pickings at the end of that match.
I mean, there's still the thing with the 1 week. You still have to let the champion know.
Well, they abolished
they abolished that.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Now it's just Money in the Bank.
now it's easy pickings.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, like, I have no problem with that. I always liked that dynamic because that moment, as soon as someone's music hits and you get that kind of oh shit moment.
I mean, it's different in the Temple when a lot of
When
the
you don't
music
hear
is
the
in
music
post,
live.
and just of all of a sudden, oh, I guess Hernandez is back.
Sure. Speaking of Hernandez gets backslid by Dante Fox, pinned. He's the first one out. PJ Black gets ankle locked into submission by Jake Strong. There's a moment where Big Bad Steve hits what I like to call a deadlift Steveplex on Dante Fox.
He's crazy strong.
Dante Fox went for some sort of strike, and without missing a beat, Big Bad Steve caught him and Saito suplexed him, like, in one smooth motion, without Dante Fox's feet even hitting the ground once.
He's ridiculous.
He hit him with a deadlift Steveplex. And it's one of my favorite things.
DLSP.
Hits a gorgeous pop-up cutter to Aerostar, just chucks him into the air.
A fellow chucker, eh?
So good. I don't even mean to set him up for you, and you knock him out of the park. Oh, we miss you too, Mark Donica. Eventually, Drago hits the scene in a vest and a construction hat. He's
no one will see me coming.
Exactly. He's not quite commandeering the forklift, but he's sort of like air traffic controlling it into the temple.
Safety first.
Exactly. Aerostar, he gets sort of the honorary Angelico moment of the season. Rides that forklift real high, hits a giant crossbody onto King Cuerno and Big Bad Steve, pins Big Bad Steve. Big Bad Steve's out of there. Man.
And there goes the real champion of men.
He's a real man of genius. Everyone remember those?
Real Steve of genius.
And when Steve's leaving, when he's Steving, the crowd is chanting at Famous B to get. They're chanting get at him.
You can't just throw Steving at me while I'm taking a sip, you jerk.
He just had to get up and Steve. He had to get. But God, if we don't have get on T-shirts by the time the next season rolls around,
I would be hard pressed. Like, we know that they block shoot and this and that.
Yeah.
If between this session and Ultima Lucha Quattro, that they didn't have a couple just to sort of throw out and pepper in the crowd to be like, oh, I want that.
Yeah.
And sort of test the waters. If the get shirt is what gets us season 5. Like, get Famous B going, that's what finances season 5 to go ahead.
Exactly.
Great.
Which, that, I don't know why that reminded me, but that reminded me, if you're new to Lucha, or if you've got friends or family that are new to Lucha, and they want to get themselves filled in on the first 2 seasons, they only have until November 15th to check them out on Netflix.
Which sort of takes away the rumor that, or the idea that Lucha could be going to Netflix next.
As a Netflix original, right?
Which
right,
is, they're just, it's right there.
Right. So hopefully, yeah, who knows where that might go, but seasons 1 and 2 are available on Netflix until November 15th. So go check out Grave Consequences and check out Alberto El Patron and all those other things that happened in much longer seasons. What's next?
I mean, it's the same match. After Steve,
We're still talking about 7 to
after
Survive.
Steve gets
Jake Strong hits Aerostar with a pop-up ankle lock, which is sort of, it's kind of weird to see.
Like, the only way is, I think, that you can make that work is you pop them up and you push them by the knee or the foot to jut their leg down, and their natural reaction would be to pop it right back up so that you can catch it instantly.
Boom.
Like
Right.
that pop-up ankle lock, it's hard to do pop-up submissions because you gotta clinch it.
Yeah, and go because you have to sort of slow down the momentum on the way down. He eventually, Aerostar, Man from the Cosmos, taps out to the ankle lock.
Interdimensional Man of the Cosmos.
Interdimensional Man, which we will get to more of his travels a little later.
Oh boy.
King Cuerno, being a sportsman, you know, he loves the sport of the hunt.
King sportsman.
He's a king sportsman.
King sportsman.
He helps him out of the temple because he's got one bad wheel. Hits Jake Strong with a series of kicks. Hits the arrow from the depths of hell onto Jake Strong. After which Dante Fox hits another honorary Angelico spot, climbs up to the very kind of top of that entrance tunnel, hits a big somersault plancha, lands what looks to be 1,000% tailbone. Oh boy. As someone,
he's got a match coming up.
as someone that used to use a top rope leg drop as a finisher,
I remember. I can't believe anybody still does that.
it's a terrible. If y'all have seen Psychosis and the way he walks recently, that's why you shouldn't use the top rope leg drop as your finisher.
Even though he didn't. If you've seen Shawn Michaels walk recently, that's a good reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Or don't ride horses as much.
Dante Fox hits a beautiful 450 splash. He and King Cuerno are trading bicycle knees. King Cuerno hits the thrill of the hunt. He locks in this sort of modified surfboard. Yeah. It looked like he sort of couldn't get it locked in, so he kind of modifies it with like a half leg assisted half Nelson.
They made it nasty.
Exactly, real nasty. Oh my God, so much happened. Dante Fox goes up to the top rope, flips over Jake Strong, rolls through into a somersault senton onto King Cuerno. Eventually, he goes for a swanton on Jake Strong. Jake Strong gets the knees up in a very, very painful looking fashion.
Oh, he's got them strong knees.
He's got them strong knees. But eventually, Dante Fox, I don't know if Lo Mein Pain has a name in the temple, but when he's AR Fox, it's called Lo Mein Pain, and it's too hard to explain. Hey, I'm a poet and I didn't even realize it. He hits Lo Mein Pain, hits the Fox Catcher to eliminate King Cuerno.
An avalanche Spanish fly?
There you go. I like that.
That's what my notes say here on this website.
An avalanche Arabian Spanish fly.
Yeah, you can do that.
There you go.
Okay.
I like it. We're inventing stuff. We get to be creative. Eventually, King Cuerno eliminated with the Fox catcher. So now we're down to one-on-one action. Dante Fox versus Jake Strong. Dante Fox is hitting so many like dive feints.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of his bread and butter, which I love.
Get you. I'm gonna. Oh, not this time.
Give him on down.
I'm gonna get you.
He hits a missile drop kick off of the apron and just splats on the floor. Like, I thought that he was gonna go for almost like a super version of his Matrix like feint.
Yeah.
Where he hits the drop kick, lands on the floor, and then does the kip up. But no, he's just dead.
I'm dead. It's like somebody pulled the plug.
Exactly.
It's like Cypher pulled the plug and he just.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Just pulled the plug right out from the back of his head.
Don't get it.
Eventually, King Cuerno locks him in that ankle lock. He tries.
Try again. You said King Cuerno.
God, son of a. Jake Strong locks him in the ankle lock.
Sounds right.
Not the stronghold.
Use take 2.
Right, exactly. We'll use that one. Dante Fox tries hard as he can to get out of that lock. Just can't do it.
Well, you don't want to leave a match with a broken spine and ankle.
That's true. It is true.
Yeah.
That is true. So he taps out to the ankle lock, and we have a brand new Gift of the Gods champion in the Savage Jake Strong.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the end scene or the card for Ultima Lucha?
Oh boy. Okay, let's talk about this end scene first.
Okay.
So Johnny Mundo is on top of the temple. He's prepping. He's practicing his capoeira. He's practicing his strikes. He is visited by the man from the cosmos, the Doctor Strange of this universe, Aerostar, who tells him that, yes, I know, Robert Zemeckis, that no amount of training will prepare him for Matanza, and that if he goes at it alone, it will be his funeral. Johnny Mundo, in typical Mundo fashion, tells him to piss off in short order, but
I don't need anybody.
they are visited by their good friend Drago, bearing the gauntlet, which we haven't seen much of this season.
Pretty surprised that we haven't seen that. It was a pretty big story element.
Pretty huge in season 3. Yeah, exactly. And that's gonna be their secret weapon. Because you gotta think, Aerostar, being the Doctor Strange of this universe, has seen how everything ends, and you got to think that it's all sort of the catalyst is Johnny Mundo being sacrificed, presumably. So even though Drago has his doubts and he's not sure if it's going to be a good idea, they give the gauntlet to Johnny Mundo, and like we get that wonderful kind of maniacal just air punching of just like, this is incredible. Like it's like in like Chronicle or like a Spider-Man. It's like any origin story where just a kid learns he has powers
And just goes crazy.
and is just like, this is so rad.
Imagine if Ricky gets all.
Oh my God, seriously. I want Vinny Massaro to have the gauntlet.
I mean, well, he's dead.
I know.
That's a shame.
Or he's just in the Soul Stone. That's what it is.
The Soul Stone.
But
maybe he's in the gauntlet.
so we've got a lot to talk about with
Very quickly.
with regards to Ultima Lucha Quattro, and not much time to do it in. It starts next week. Next week, Ultima Lucha Quattro, part 1 of 2. We have got a 3-way trios match for the trios titles. That's the Rabbit Tribe, that's the Reptile Tribe, and that's Exolicious, Evilise, and Sammy Guevara.
Maybe.
For yes, exactly. Contract,
Contract willing.
permitting. We've got Taya taking on Ricky Mundo. Son of Havoc taking on Killshot, Mask versus Mask, Dragon Azteca Jr. versus Phoenix, 2 out of 3 falls. We've got a death match between Mil Mortes and the Mac, a sacrifice to the gods match between Johnny Mundo and Matanza, and of course the Lucha Underground Championship match between Pentagon Dark and Marty the Moth Martinez. Did I miss anything?
No, you got it.
That's all.
I think that Dragon Azteca and Phoenix will probably be the purest wrestling match purest lucha that we'll see. Sure. And that's one of the ones that I'm most excited for that. In terms of story implications, there's a lot in that trios match, and I think it's hard to tell that story amongst 10 people with famous B.
Yeah.
But aside from that, like, all these matches are going to deliver in one way or another.
Sure.
I'm interested to see what's going to happen between Ricky and Taya as a aftermath.
Exactly. Yeah, the vignettes that stem from that, at the very least, will give us a lot to chew on.
And is this the last we're going to see of Matanza or Johnny Mundo?
That's true.
It's crazy.
That is true.
It's going to leave us in a very weird place for season 5.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Guys, we've only got 2 episodes left, so be sure you're here, same time, same channel next week. That's 9 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, where we'll be talking about Ultima Lucha Quattro Part 1. Mark Donica, thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure as always.
Always.
Why don't you tell the believers where they can find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Mark B. Donica and Instagram at Mark B. Donica. Usually do a show here on Wednesdays, the NXT After Show with Bill Hanstock and Robert Baines. We were off tonight. We all had various work-related things that we unfortunately had to miss. As you might be familiar with the particular program, no shade. But also, if you want to hear Ty and I talk haunts and Halloween spooky theme park things, or just regular
my
theme park
favorite.
things, we did an episode of my podcast, Party of Two, which is a theme parks podcast that I host usually with my wife. And we it's on YouTube, it's on SoundCloud, it's on Google Play Podcasts, it's on iTunes. Please, if you listen to it, give us a review. We're trying to get found a little bit more. We're about 2 months into it, but we're still having a blast.
There you go. As always, you can find me on all forms of social media at TyMatthewsPMA. That's Twitter, that's Instagram, that's the PlayStation Network. I am deep into Halloween terror on Overwatch right now, and then it'll be right back to Spider-Man and probably Red Dead Redemption. You can find me on the Purge After Show. There's only 2 episodes left of that as well. That's Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, and you can catch me on Saturdays, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Check your local listings. We'll be right back here next week. Only 2 episodes left. Until then, Viva la Lucha!
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.